So the woman you're seeing here was abused by the Nigerian immigration officers. This woman that is a Ghanaian.
Yesterday we lost a general, Brigadier General Musa.
They say make we no talk. They say make we no talk. They invade Nigeria like this so that those that are kpai people can continue to be kpai people. They say make we no talk so that we go pretend say nothing dey go on. Whereas na full invasion to wipe out Christians in Nigeria. They say make we no talk. They say make we no talk. Say this no start today. Why are you talking about it? No talk. You are wasting your time. You when you talk say there's no persecution of Christians in Nigeria. What is this?
You see, at this point, it is very, very okay to say that Nigeria is in their need of African nations to come together, wail in to fight this whole crisis, genocide, man's inhumanity to man in Nigeria. Like, there's no point pretending, no point, being hypocritical at this point. Because at this point, tell me why a people that knows fully well that they need us help and the support of African nations, with what we are going to see here today of the brutalization of Nigerian immigration, Nigerian police to a Ghanaian that went to Nigeria, as well as what it is in rare, clear evidence, explanation of the Nigerian BOKOHARAM, invading into a Nigerian Christian church somewhere in the north, and what the government at this point have to say about it will leave you shocked, will leave you speechless, and at the end of the day, with an option or a thought, decision of what you think as a Nigerian, a Ghanaian, a South African, a Kenyan, in fact, an African at this point, of what should happen to Nigeria and Nigerians. Because, guys, I am really getting, I'm losing it. I'm getting out of my mind because what is happening is no longer a joke. But before I go further to explain, I would love us to take a close look at every narrative, every evidence, every video of what it is currently between Nigeria and Nigerians, Ghanaians and Nigerians and all other African nations at this point, right? Let's watch these videos. Watch patiently to the end, please. I beg of you. Pay attention to details. For my sake, like this video, share this video and stay subscribed if you like it on here, because on here we give you raw, undiluted information, uncensored information, news, trending update of what it is for Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, all the countries you can clearly think of what is happening in the continent of Africa. Watch these videos like I said, and I will be right back to explain further.
Yesterday we lost a general, Brigadier General Musa, and the videos being circulated, and 24 hours after, you saw what happened in Kebbi. What we are missing is that these people have taken advantage of our infallibility to keep getting at us. Imagine if any one of us has a daughter now in captivity in Kebbi. Will you be sleeping? Is it possible for you to survive when your own daughter is taken? And I represent Bauchi Central. Bauchi said, Mr. President, we are facing an existential threat collectively as people. And by the time we begin to procrastinate and say it is this group against this group, it is this religion against this religion, the event of the last few weeks has proven to all Nigerians that these attacks comes to any Nigerian, irrespective of tribe, region, and religion. And therefore, Mr. President, the more we begin to see ourselves as the victims of these terrorists, the better for all of us.
Their mission is to wipe out and take over that land. That's their mission. So they don't want me person throw light on it. That's why I want to thank Nicki Minaj, a foreign celebrity, a foreign singer, called a true light, in a UN conference where they do use her voice.
In Nigeria, Christians are being targeted, driven from their homes, and killed. Churches have been burned. Families have been torn apart, and entire communities live in fear constantly, simply because of how they pray.
They say make we no talk. They say make we no talk. They invade Nigeria like this so that those that are kpai people can continue to be kpai people. They say make we no talk so that we go pretend say nothing they go on. Whereas now full invasion to wipe out Christians in Nigeria. They say make we no talk. They say make we no talk or say this is no start today. What are you talking about it? No talk. You are wasting your time. You when you talk say there's no persecution of Christians in Nigeria. What is this? Wetin be that? Christians gather to pray peacefully. Mama, papa, pikin, brothers, sisters. In Kwara, you get the mind, enter the place. You say you be Fulani Muslim. You enter the place, go invade them. Buy some people, carry some people. Show me one mosque where Christians enter, go invade. Show me one mosque. Say this particular tribe in Nigeria, they are predominantly Christians. They enter the mosque, go invade. Carry them enter bush. Then some Christians call say nothing like that. Call it plea in this country. Fire no go enter. Show me one Fulani leader where don't condemn what they go on for Nigeria. If they know they strategically they support it. Say make no talk. So that what go happen? What go happen?
The West African nation of Nigeria has been plunged into a tense and troubling chapter, drawing global attention as high-profile kidnappings of children and disturbing accusations of religiously driven killings intensify. Here's what you need to know. On Monday, November 17th, gunmen attacked the Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School before dawn in Nigeria's northwestern Kebbi state. The attackers killed a staff member and abducted 25 schoolgirls from a dormitory. One student, who is not among the 25 confirmed abducted, escaped in the minutes that followed the attack, the school's principal told the Associated Press. He also said that another schoolgirl among the abducted escaped her captors and arrived home safely later Monday night. Security forces, meanwhile, visited the school hours after the attack and directed soldiers to conduct intelligence-driven operations and relentless day and night pursuit of the abductors, according to an Army statement. No group has claimed responsibility for taking the missing girls, but analysts and locals say it could be one of several gangs that often target schools, travelers, and remote villagers in kidnappings for ransom. Mass school kidnappings are not uncommon in northern Nigeria, where dozens of armed gangs of mostly nomadic herdsmen and, more recently, jihadis operate. Most notably, back in 2014, 270 schoolgirls were kidnapped by the extremist terror group BOKOHARAM in the northeastern town of Chibok. While many of the girls managed to escape or were later released, some have never been returned. Schools are often strategically targeted for kidnappings in order to gain more attention, analysts told AP. The troubling new kidnapping comes after the nation had been already under intense pressure in recent weeks over claims of religious violence and killings towards Christians in the country. Since 2009, the Islamist militant group Boko Haram, which later split into an offshoot of ISIS to become the Islamic State West Africa Province, have launched an insurgency in Nigeria. Since then, more than 125,000 Christians have been slaughtered and 19,000 churches have been destroyed, according to a report by non-governmental human rights organization.
My fellow citizens, honestly, what is happening in the country, this is not how to live in a country. Yesterday night, I was devastated. I watched the video that had been put out by Sahara reporters. And this video, it was said to be a church in Kwara State where some armed men came in. People were sitting down, worshiping quietly, minding their business. And all of a sudden, terrorists came out and came in. And you will see these people. There's nothing that looks like organization. There's nothing that looks like something that would defeat our military. We are being hunted in our country. And this is not the way to live life. This is not the way to live. You see people running away, frightened. Look at the old woman who had lived in Nigeria all her years, who should be in a place where she's resting, taking care of herself, worshiping peacefully, going home peacefully, waiting till the end of life. She's having to run because she's being haunted like a human being. And you know the most heartbreaking part of it all, of course, she couldn't run. She had to be walking slowly. Look at the things that came in, hunting down people, packing bags, stealing. Where is the security? The primary responsibility of any government is the protection of lives and properties of its citizens. Any government that cannot protect the lives and properties of its citizens is not fit to be called a government. There is no government in Nigeria. We are being killed, we're being hunted. Nothing matters to them. The only thing they care about is politics. Who is joining their party? Who they can get in, that's all their matters. Their achievement is that they will have all governors in their party. They will have one party in this country. And we're sitting down, we're looking. When they finish hunting those in the outskirts, those in villages, they will come after every one of us. We will be hunted on the streets. We've been shouting these things for years. People think that, oh, one, it does not concern them, or one, it's about whoever is in office or whatever. This is not the time for partisanship. This is not the time for political parties. This is not the time for who you support, what your tribe is, what your religion is. This is the time for humanity. This is the time for us all to rise with one voice and say enough is enough. We are not animals and we should not be hunted like animals. Even animals who are in the bush that are being hunted. Hello, everyone. I'm just looking at this statement here where Akpabio said that on the issue of the Kebbi State, Kebbi girls that were abducted from a school in Maga. And he said there's no society without crime. What I'm going to say here is that, yes, there's no society without crime. But there are a lot of societies without terrorism. These are not crimes. These are terrorism. And if Akpabio thinks that it's okay for girls that were sent to school by their parents to be taken away by terrorists, then he should give their children, he should put his children in a place where terrorists will come and pick them up. And then we'll truly know that there's no society without crime. I do not see any place where human lives will be turned down in the way that is being turned down. People who are supposed to protect lives and property. Akpabio at this moment is supposed to be calling Tinubu and saying to Tinubu, what are you doing to protect lives? The Senate is supposed to be calling Tinubu, National Assembly is supposed to be calling Tinubu and saying to Tinubu, Nigerians are dying. The National Assembly are supposed to be the people who speak directly for the people. Activists are not the people that are supposed to speak for you. You voted for people, you pay people to speak for you. Nigerians, we are sitting down and allowing these people walk all over our head because we ourselves do not even know what we are supposed to get. Every money that they collect is not for them to use it on themselves. It's not for them to be doing all sorts of things, all manner of things. It's not for them to use siren on our head. It's for them to be our voices. It's for them to carry every of our voices from every part of Nigeria and go in there to the National Assembly and deliberate on these issues. It's for every one of us to call them and say, hey, this is what is happening in our places. And they call. And when the executive, the presidency does not do the things that it's supposed to do, then we call the presidency. The people in the National Assembly are supposed to be the activists in power. They are supposed to be holding the government accountable. They are supposed to be holding the executive accountable. But what we have is a collusion between those who are supposed to speak for us and those who are supposed to work for us. And at the end of the day, all they do is protect themselves. This nonsense has to stop. If Akpabio is telling us that in every society, that there is crime in every society, can he bring up his children for them to kidnap them, to abduct them and take them away? Then he can really tell us that indeed, in every society that there is crime. We sit down, all that they care about It's the politics of propaganda, politics of getting people into their party. That's all they care about. Politics of protecting one another, and never politics of protecting the lives and properties of the people. How do we continue like this? This has to stop. We've been on the street, we have spoken. We need to ensure that the people who hold those places are people who care about us. Enough is enough. Enough of this nonsense. For over 12 years, I myself have been screaming, I've been shouting, I've been on the street, I've been held tear gas. Yet, nothing. We cannot allow these people to be there and not think about us, not protect us. Akpabio saying this statement means one thing. All he's interested in is protecting the executive. The National Assembly should be thinking about impeaching the legitimate president who was never supposed to be there in the first place. The National Assembly is supposed to be calling him and say, what do you have for Nigeria? How do you intend to protect Nigeria? What is happening? Say the issues are all around. And yet, these are the people who are speaking for them. Let me tell you.
So the woman you're seeing here was abused by the Nigerian immigration officers. This woman that is a Ghanaian. Let me read what she actually wrote. On Saturday, the 15th of November, I had a disturbing encounter with Nigerian immigration officers while traveling from Lagos to Lome at the Agbara checkpoint. The officer stopped our vehicle and asked us to exit. When questioned about my nationality, I stated that I am a Ghanaian and was asked to produce my passport. I informed them that I did not have it with me and provided my Ghana card instead. The officers took the card and instructed me to meet with their superior. The superior asked for my passport and I told him I did not have it with me. He then said, "You are a Ghanaian. I hear Ghana immigration has been embarrassing Nigerians. I will also embarrass you." I replied, "Don't say that. There are a lot of Nigerians in Ghana." Before I could finish, he slapped me. The other officer then attacked me, hitting my head from all angles. They asked me to sit on the floor and poured water on me. They held me for 2 hours and released me after taking the only money on me, 10,000 cedis or 10,000 CFA. Let me make sure. I was so traumatized that it did not occur to me to take pictures. What is my take on this? First of all, I want to tell Ghanaians something. It's high time you people stop coming to Nigeria. It's high time. I love the fact that you people are very peaceful people, but you must have to understudy the people that you met your peace on. Nigerians are not people that you entangle or meet with peace. In order to find peace with Nigerians, you must go to war. I learned this long time ago because I have a mother who is ready to fight anywhere. She often tells me, if you want peace, go to war. If you want peace, go to war. Now, for Nigerian immigration officers, I hope you people understand the difficulty you people are giving out to Nigerians in Ghana, because Nigerians are in Ghana in their majority. Unlike Ghanaians who are not even in Nigeria. In their majority. Ghanaians are not in Nigeria in their majority. There are very few Ghanaians in Nigeria. And you people want to start a war that will simply go against you people. You people want to start a war that will simply go against you people. Now the situation is, do I have an evidence of this? I don't. It's just the write-up. I'm probably speaking with the woman. But how do I know this is true? Because I'm a Nigerian and I know exactly how Nigerians are. First of all, it is a unique attribute with Nigerians that there are people that in their saying they would embarrass you, they begin to hit you. And one other thing that is very specific in this situation that clearly shows succinctly that these are the handiwork of Nigerians and that this woman is not lying is that Nigerian officers cannot finish beating you or abusing you without taking your money. They just don't do things without touching your money. So for them to touch your money means it has to be in Nigeria. So in such notes, even though I do not have a visual evidence, I know this is true. And this is enough for Ghanaians to seek out for corrections. It is enough for Ghanaians to seek out for corrections. Nigerians, do you know how difficult you people make it for Nigerians living in Ghana? That is if those ones actually care, because they are the ones that are actually purporting all manner of crime. They are the ones purporting all manner of crime. Nigerians, listen, you people know that the war inside your home had already swallowed you people. You people can't even resolve the war inside, the little war inside your home. Talk more of starting a war with Ghana. Starting a war with Ghana. You people don't know what Ghana is made up of. Let me tell you, my mother taught me that those who seek peace the most are the ones that are most dangerous when it comes to war. The ones known for peace, the ones who are very peaceful, that are loosey-goosey, they are the ones that will go extreme on you in situations when there is war. The ones that behave like they don't know what they are doing. You people can see that with Fulanis. How many Igbos had suffered in the hands of Fulanis? You people don't want to start a war with Ghanaians. You people don't want to do that. You people don't. But for Ghanaians, I tell you people know what to do. You know what to do. I ain't gonna stop you people. I ain't gonna plead with you people. Do what you must. Thank you very much. Now, the program you're seeing clearly says that this present administration in Ghana is creating a system that would eventually go back and jail everybody that had been in the administration of siphoning Ghanaian fund, because their intention is in building Ghana, not in building the person's individual pockets. Now, guess where the thing is shocking enough? Let me tell you where it shocks the most. Now, the shocking part of it is that this administration had also advised them to also continue with the same methodology of jailing anybody who in this particular administration enriches his own pockets when it is that person's time or when it is that person's tenure of administration. Do you get what this means? Now, it is a situation whereby a man is that transparent and clearly desires a society to work than for him to work. This is the extent of a clear conscience. This is the extent of a clear conscience. You see, I'm scared. I'm really scared at the extent of Ghanaian development. Ghana would break records in Africa, mark my word, and they are all positive records. From what you're seeing now, check Ghana in the next 10-20 years. You people will come back to this video and say, hey, say it so. Because I look at the future from the present. From what's happening in Ghana right now, the particular standard these people are setting for themselves. I think it's a question of European countries will have to contend with Ghana as a country. It's going to be a situation where Europe would skip every other African country. Obviously, I'm not talking about South Africa because we know South Africa is already Europe. So we're talking about every other African country, especially Nigeria. And then we'll come handy to relate with Ghana because Ghana is the only African country they see themselves to measure up with in having a conversation, a reasonable conversation. And they wouldn't even have the mentality to run into an exploitive intent, but a negotiative intent. That's how it works. You know, the white man is in such a way that if he wants to entangle you and sees that you're undeveloped, he thinks of how to move this guy aside so that we can extract certain resources and develop the world. But if you're developed, they begin to seek out for a negotiative methodology in a bid to, develop the world, especially when they also know that it is same intent. Because let me tell you, it is actually one intention that flows through any society that thinks about developing itself. So when Ghana, as of right now, you notice that Ghanaians and South Africans to an extent will have this level of agreement with Europeans because they are beginning to understand what it has to be for a society that requires developing themselves. So in most cases, what they used to see Europe as, probably as a capitalist, imperialist country, an exploiting country, they may not see that anyways. They're beginning to understand, that there are certain things a man who desires to develop the world, because to develop your society means to develop the world. Because if you stop at developing your society and don't think of the world, you notice that other parts of the world will still make a caricature of all the things you've done for your society. So it's better you move around the world, push aside undeveloped mentalities, and extract whatever resources you must require to develop the world at large. And that's why I don't blame the white man. But let me not dwell on that anyways. Now what I'm trying to say is that according to this program, the level of transparency and the level of clear conscience in it is bewildering. And that is when you know that Ghana is ready to fly. Ghana is on a pathway to a great flight. I'm telling you the truth. I am happy. I say congratulations to Ghanaians in advance. I say congratulations to Ghanaians. It's a very beautiful thing, my brothers. It's a very beautiful thing. All right? Then you people must also understand that, when a man wants to attain greatness, that is the time evil begins to knock on his door. When a man wants to attain greatness, that's the time evil begins to knock on his door. If you have noticed, this, news and stipulations and altercations with Nigerians in Ghana has not been much when Ghanaians weren't really talking about developing themselves. But you notice that the moment Ghana is about to fly, did you notice something? Evil started knocking on their door. And by that, I mean Nigerians. We started hearing all more forms of altercations with Ghanaians and all those things. You can inquire from South Africans, you can inquire from Botswana people to understand how, usually it's a normal thing. Once you start building your house, the big wind starts coming. And that's Nigeria for you. So you people ought to be very careful because this greatness, it is a must. It is a must, all right?
Guys, watching the video where the Boko Haram invaded the church left me traumatized. Watching the video of my brother Chimdi explaining how a Ghanaian who came to Nigeria was brutalized by the Nigerian police immigration left me traumatized. Right there in the church where the lives of people were cut short, both the aged, both the young, literally everything that played out and that is playing out in this country called Nigeria would show you that it's no longer a joke. Nigeria is in their need of African nations. This is no joke. This is no yapping. This is no cruise. Call it whatever you can literally think of. This is the reality of Nigeria and Nigerians. And all you can hear from a Senate president is that there's crime happening in every country. Just like they will always point out that Ghanaians commit crime. Ghanaians have criminals. Ghanaians commit crime. Ghanaians have criminals. South Africa, every country have crime. But every country do not have terrorism going on there as Nigeria is. And even in Ghana, you heard from my brother Chimdi in that video where they are holding themselves as leaders accountable, which is what is supposed to be happening in Nigeria now, where every leader who truly understands the value of life, the worth of life, should take to the street, should call on the president, should call on every sector to hold those, to go out to the street, to go out to the forest and ambush and eradicate and fight all these lunatics, all these criminals in Nigeria that are terrorizing innocent lives, haunting innocent lives on the road, in the church, on the street, every look and cranny. The lives of every Nigerian is under threat. Because if you think at this point it hasn't gotten to your doorpost, it hasn't gotten to your community, it hasn't gotten to your village, you have not been held on the road, then wait for it. And as rightly said by my sister Aisha Yusuf, bring out your children, all you politicians, and keep them for these people to hold captive. Then you will understand the value of life. One life of a Nigerian truly matters. No wonder the police that are supposed to be fighting and protecting life, the army, the military, are so disorganized, are so cruel, are so wicked, to the point that all where they exhibit and show their strength, their power, is on innocent citizens. Tell me what a Ghanaian who came to Nigeria has done to receive such treatment. Tell me. This is not first, neither will it be the last. And I still wonder, like Chimdi asked, what are you people still coming to do in this animal country? Even we who are here, we live by carrying a heart in our mouth every single day in fear. And you still want to come here. Ask those who are already here as foreigners how they dread, their lives, the safety of their life and their security, which is supposed to be the topmost responsibility, priority of our leaders. And you tell me this is a freaking country. 25 children abducted, who left their houses, left their homes, said goodbye to their parents. I am coming back, and nowhere to be found, but rather in the hands of this beast in God knows where. And this is a country. Nigeria is at the verge of breaking out into war and crisis. Already it has started. It is looming from one community to another, one state to another, one doorstep to another, until it gets to your doorstep. Do not wait. This is not funny, guys. I needed to gather all this as evidence. Let it be on record. The world should see what Nigeria is going through, what is happening in Nigeria. All African nations should see. Share this video. Nigerians are haunted. We are not safe. And this is what Ghanaians have been crying. They have been screaming. That is why you should not let this beast into your country in disguise, in any way, in any sort. They are ready to, invade into your country, through your borders, tighten your immigration. Sit up, you all, and be careful. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. Be warned. This is the Nigeria, the country we call our own. You see the pain in our voices. If you understand and value life, then you will understand. Ladies and gentlemen, let's draw the line here. Share your thoughts, share your opinion in the comments. Like this video and stay subscribed if you like it on here. I'm going to catch you in my next one. Ciao, ciao.